Hey, Footclan, it's Friday. That means it's a great day to play DFS, and if you want the inside scoop, all the expert advice, the weekly DFS picks, the premium reports, then we got a two-pack for you. You can go to ultimatedfspass.com and get our DFS pass that will help you out all season long, and be sure to listen to the Fantasy Footballers DFS show. Subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast, hosted by Mike, the Fantasy Hitman. Right, let's do this.
Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast, coming to you from the Redraft Studios with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
It's Friday, October 13th, everybody.
Wait.
We'll get there. But first, you have to tip the cap to the real Jason, the masked crusader, saving us from those deplorable teenagers at sleepaway camps.
Oh,
You weren't even following me?
I was not following you at first because I missed the Friday the 13th. I was just so enamored by the day of the week that it was.
Yeah, we'll get there as well.
It is Friday the 13th, and it's not just Friday the 13th, but we're in October.
Ooh. Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. I am your host of the day, the final day of my hosting duties. Then I get to retire. But I'm Mike, the Fantasy Hitman Wright. Find me on Twitter at FFHitman. I'm joined by Jason Moore. You find him on Twitter at JasonFFL. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for football this weekend. I'm excited for today's show. So much good stuff that we're going to need to talk about. And we're not alone. We're not alone.
Oh,
the
we
final
are not.
day. How are you today, Jay?
He's doing well.
Jay Grizz. Follow him at JGrizzFFL on Twitter. The tweet's been hot. And you definitely want to check out his stream of the week, which can only be found at JGrizzFFL on Twitter.
Or Montana.
Yes, yes, you can also find his streams of the week frequently in Montana.
It is...
Hey,
Yes.
I botched the joke a little bit.
You botched the joke.
Hold on. We'll redo that.
Wait, well, I'm curious. What day is it, Mike?
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do it. Dad's away. The boys are going to play.
And it's Friday, which also means...
Footclan Friday.
It is Footclan Friday. That means that we give a $40 gift card to one of our supporters over at jointhefoot.com just for being a lovely person
At
supporting
random.
the show. This week's winner, Derek Dornfeld.
Oh, Derek.
Come on down.
Congratulations.
This is where it would be awesome if Derek just burst through
That
the door.
would be incredible and super freaky. You want to talk Friday the 13th.
But he gets a $40 gift card to shopballers.com. Thank you for supporting the show, Derek. We really appreciate you. Let's get into the quick question. That quick question. There was football last night.
There was not just football. There was a great game.
It was an excellent game. You had drama till the very end. The Eagles took on the Carolina Panthers. The Eagles won that game 28-23. Jason, what are your big takeaways from this game?
Big takeaways. So I think the Eagles' defense getting healthier going forward. I'm going to,
And they weren't fully healthy yesterday, but they still were
right.
getting it done.
They still could have room to improve there, but they they got Fletcher Cox back. He made a big difference. When it came to the running game on the ground from running backs, Carolina could not get it done at all, not even close. And so I credit.
Well, you don't like
Philadelphia.
4 for 8 from Christian McCaffrey?
4 for 8. Well, what was Jonathan Stewart's line?
He was actually an inverse of that. Instead of 8 yards, he had 8 attempts, and instead of 8 yards, he had -4 yards.
4 yards. So, yeah, that run D looks completely legitimate when they're healthy, so I will take that into consideration. Carson Wentz, he looked very good.
He was also the benefactor of some short
Certainly,
fields
yes.
because he was 16 for 30. I mean, under 54% completion. Still had 222 yards, 3 scores, so a very high QBR rating. But his defense really did help him out, turned into a good fantasy play. On the other side, Cam was still a passable fantasy play because he had the rushing touchdown and the passing touchdown. Cam was not a very good performance.
Cam is Cam. What I mean by that is that we joke about him being a bad quarterback, mostly because he's not a good quarterback. As far as, well, to be more clear, he's not a good pocket passer. He's just not. Compared to, I mean, he's great compared to me, but he's not a great pocket passer.
You got to give yourself some credit, Jay.
I can throw a spiral.
I've seen you throw a ball. You can go at least 20 yards.
At least in the air.
Yeah. Oh, your air yard data is great.
It's incredible. 3 interceptions. It should have been like 17. I mean, the amount of times he threw the ball to a defender, about the same as he threw to his team. I did love the involvement of Christian McCaffrey. He is in the passing game. He is
14 targets.
More and more and more a go-to outlet. I think he's going to be safer and safer as the year goes on. Love that. He had double-digit receptions. Also, how's our water bet looking? We started out pretty good for me on the Kelvin Benjamin versus Devin Funchess rest of the season.
You certainly did. Kelvin Benjamin 9 for 99. That's a great game.
He will remain the go-to target. He'll have bad games. He'll have good games. But he is the go-to target as far as from the wide receiver.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he had 13 targets. Funchess had 9, but was only able to reel in 3 for 36. So the targets were still there for Funchess. So while, I mean, the water bet of Funchess versus Kelvin, I mean, when we did it, it was close. It was a heads-up pick 'em.
Sure.
But for those who, if you played Funchess, I'm not going to get down on him after this week.
He had enough targets.
The opportunity was there. I thought you were going to jump in with something else.
Anything else from that game stick out to you?
I mean,
Alshon Jeffrey looked good. I said I would buy him last week.
Aguilar did it again.
Yeah, hard to trust. The secondary weapon there, some weeks it will be Aguilar. Some weeks it'll be Torrey Smith. You just don't know who to trust, but he did look good.
You know who you can trust? That's Zach Ertz. 2 for 2. 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. He's my guy. Not yours, Andy.
Oh.
He's officially one of my 3 my guys.
All right, let's move into the news.
News and notes from around the league.
Big news yesterday. Broke right before the football game. Big news. The NFL has reinstated Ezekiel Elliott's 6-game suspension. The court ruled in favor of the NFL. So that means right now Ezekiel Elliott is currently suspended.
Correct, kind of. So we could probably do an entire hour-long episode on Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, let's do it. That sounds really fun.
Let's not. This is if it hasn't been messy enough, there's no more clarity that has been brought to the table. In fact, right now is probably the least we have known. Yes, he is currently, as of this moment, while we were recording Friday morning, he is currently suspended. By rule, there is a 14-day window to file a petition. During that time, he could probably get a stay on that ruling, meaning he will most likely, in this 14-day window, be unsuspended. Is that a word?
Sure.
It is now. It is. Which means week 7 against the 49ers, I expect him to play. That's not a long-term, fix, which means when you're picking up Alf or you're picking up DMC, we'll talk about who to pick up in a second. You might not know for 3 weeks.
Yes.
They're on bye this week, 49ers next week, where Zeke might be active, and then the next week finally figure it out. And that's not to say that he doesn't get to push back the whole season again. I mean, the fight, it just goes on and on.
What do I have to do to get Andy Holloway suspended for 6 weeks so I can remain in the host chair?
Yeah, I don't think that one's going to happen. He's excited to get back. People are excited to have him back. I'm excited to have him back, but maybe you guys can arm wrestle for just hosting duties.
In arm wrestle?
Well, we probably got to find something a little bit more fair.
Hey, I will smash him like a bug. All right, let's Marcus Wheaton is out 4 to 6 weeks. Was he in?
Not in my
Not anymore.
lineups, not,
He is out.
not in my heart.
Oh, we have an
gotta
update
back
from
up.
Brooks.
You guys
we got to back up. I was going to back him up.
Sorry for
you
the.
guys got to talk McFadden.
Oh,
Morris.
yeah, I was going to back him up.
That's
Don't you
such a
worry.
bore.
It's not a bore. It's actually really important
All
and
right.
really murky.
So Darren McFadden has been the healthy scratch, which means nothing really in terms of trying to read the situation. Backup running backs are often healthy scratches. Look back to last year, Cameron Artis-Payne was the healthy scratch until Jonathan Stewart was hurt, and then Cameron Artis-Payne was the primary ball carrier.
Yeah, Mike Clay tweeted this out from Todd Archer back in the day. Todd Archer, ESPN reporter for the Dallas Cowboys, saying, does Darren McFadden's Week 1 deactivation mean that Alf would be the backup? And his response was not necessarily. He said the Cowboys spent all summer preparing McFadden to be Elliott's replacement had the suspension taken effect. So he believes it would be Darren McFadden. That's from Todd Archer of ESPN. However, more recently, still a while ago, 1 month ago, there is a definite shout out for the find here. Scott Barrett tweeted out from Chris Akranitz.
Ooh,
nailed it.
Yeah.
An article, and this was actually Scott Linehan, who is the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, which I think I would take him more serious. He's closer
He's
and
a good
actually
source.
in control.
Good
Very
source.
good source. But he talked about, this is a quote from the offensive coordinator of the Cowboys about a month ago. He said, quote, "We were preparing Alfred before the thing with Zeke came final for the week," Linehan said. "He had taken a lot of reps with the first group, to be honest with you, and we felt like he earned it at that point. He was also great in preseason." He talked about that. So who's it going to be? I lean Alf now.
You have officially switched your stance.
Yeah, I think Scott Linehan knows more than I do on the situation.
Yeah, the real answer is you gotta get both on your team if you can. Now, obviously, that's not a very realistic option for the majority of people. Darren McFadden is owned in a lot of leagues because the Elliott owner was prepping, and it seemed like McFadden would be the guy. So if Morris is there, you do add him immediately. But this is just –
I can tell you,
it's messy. Who knows?
In a league where both were on waivers, I cleared room, and I made $20 bids on both of them. I wasn't going to – I'll hold them. So, and obviously it's going to depend on the league. You have to be realistic. If this ends up being a 3-week period before and you want to take up 2 bench spots, that's rough. You could end up hurting
do not
yourself.
Clear your fab for this either.
No, and the reality is you could hold out 3 weeks, keeping up 2 bench spots, and then Zeke plays every game. And honestly, because of that, today might be a decent time to target Zeke for the super cheap. If you can just get someone who thinks he's a throwaway piece, you saw an email.
Did. Yeah, we had an email come in from a listener who said, I picked up DMC and Morris off the waivers. And, I mean, this is absolutely ludicrous. But they were able to flip the newly acquired Morris and DMC for Zeke.
I would do it.
You would?
I would acquire Zeke.
Oh, yes. Of course. Of course I would. I'm saying that's a bit of an overreaction from the Zeke owner to
There are just
panic.
so many ways this could turn out. I mean, you still have Zeke being able to push it back a year. You still have Zeke being able to actually just have it changed from 6 games to 3 games.
See, I don't think that's going to happen. I think at this point, the NFL, all the hoops that Zeke has made them jump through to enact this suspension, I can't imagine they drop it from 6. If they would have done that, it would have happened already.
Did Brady's change?
No.
Yeah,
it stayed the full.
There you go.
All right, every Friday the last bit of news, I apologize. The Chargers-Raiders game, they are evaluating the situation because of the air quality due to the fires in California. So they are looking for other options, quite possibly for the game.
Currently still scheduled.
Exactly, but if it's moved, does that change anything for you?
Probably not. I mean, if they move it'll still be
I assume it becomes a neutral site.
Yeah, but it'll probably be a neutral site. The tickets would remain the same. It would be the same people, right? Coming.
I saw the San Diego, the mayor of San Diego offered.
Oh man,
offered to host it. Thought that was so funny.
They love football there.
If San Diego hosts a Charger game, what is that event like? Those fans, those angry fans, rightfully angry. I'm not saying it's something negative about that, but like, if your team came crawling back because they had to,
that's my new hope. I hope this happens.
I mean, you would have to show up in Raider gear.
Oh man, Raiders will sell so many jerseys. That's funny. One more piece of news before we move on, because it was brought to my attention, but David Johnson, Bruce Arians has basically said that he thinks Thanksgiving is the earliest David Johnson could come back. So week 12 looks like a long shot, which means he's probably not coming back before your fantasy playoffs.
Oof.
Just want you to be aware.
Yeah.
Want our Foot Clan to be
Absolutely.
in the know.
All right, we're going to talk some in and out here.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
Every Friday we run through these names of questionable players. Will they play? And we kind of give our educated opinion here. Derek Carr coming off of that whatever the bone fracture in his back. But what do you think? Is he going to play?
I hypothesize that he
Indubitably.
he's expected to play. I do worry about it. I worry about a re-aggravation.
Would you play him?
Yeah, I am playing him in one league,
right.
but he's lower in my rankings than what you would usually expect from Derek Carr in this matchup.
Marcus Mariota.
So he's game time decision. He's been practicing a little bit more with his hamstring issue this week, which is a good sign. But he's Monday Night Football.
Luckily for if you're holding out hope, you want to play Mariota. Jacoby Brissett's a great stream play this week. Who is his opponent?
The beef brisket.
Oh my goodness! What am I doing?
Hey, where's the beef?
He is a great pickup, so you can just if you want to hold out for Mariota, grab Jacoby, ride it out.
Absolutely, I think that's a perfect pair. And if you can't get Jacoby Brissett, I would look elsewhere. I would not. I mean, you're taking too big a risk at the quarterback position. If you have to cut Mariota, like if that's what your roster dictates, to pick up some streamable quarterback, then that's what you got to do.
Matthew Stafford.
He's in. He's a gamer.
All right, Sammy Biscuits.
He'll never play again.
Oh.
No, I hope he gets back in a couple weeks, but no, he's not playing this week.
Ty Montgomery.
So Ty Montgomery practicing in full.
Again,
this would be week 2. We saw Rob Kelly come back in week 2 from his injury. But
his was bruised, though.
Exactly. That's what I was going to bring up. There's questions. Some people say his were broken. Some people, no, it's just bruised. I think Ty Montgomery broke his. I think Rob Kelly was bruised. So I lean that Ty Montgomery will not suit up this week.
Rob Kelly, the aforementioned.
Well, different injury.
An
ankle injury. He is not expected to play.
Blau Powell.
Blau Powell.
Blau Powell.
I do not believe Blau Powell will play. He hasn't practiced, and same with his teammate Matt Forte.
Forte has been practicing. You expect him out?
I guess that one's more difficult.
Check the news this weekend.
I think I lean that Matt Forte will not play.
Terrence West.
I think they want to see Elijah McGuire. I think they want to have a game where Elijah McGuire is it. However, if Forte plays, your pump the brakes on McGuire is right, because if Forte plays,
he's the starter.
He's not the backup.
Yeah. Terrence West.
Terrence West definitely out. He'll be out for a couple weeks.
Rex Burkhead.
He has been practicing the last couple of weeks. He could suit up for sure this week. I'm just not sure if they want to have that many running backs active. Deion Lewis seems like he's earned his spot, so he's so-so.
Smash Jackson, a.k.a. Paul Perkins.
Yeah, we can't call him Smash Jackson.
It's so good, man.
Smash Jackson,
It's
R.I.P.
so good.
R.I.P. We'll convert Smash Jackson to a different name someday. No, Paul Perkins already been ruled out.
Sterling Shepard.
Already been ruled out.
Stephon Diggs.
He didn't practice Thursday. I think he will play.
Do you play him?
And I don't play him.
Jordy Nelson. Horty Nelson.
Horty. He's practicing in full on Thursday. He's a go.
Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker has not been practicing. I do not expect him to play this week. And I hope he does not play this week, because we are in a matchup head-to-head, and you have Devontae Parker.
You're going to get Andre Ellington
Yeah.
in the face. Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill added to the injury report Thursday for
That's
hamstring.
never
limited.
a good sign.
No, when late week things pop up. We've also seen Hill hobbled a couple times through the first few weeks. I expect him to play. I expect him to start. I am a little bit more worried of the possibility that he takes himself out of the game halfway through.
We have a lot of these names this week.
We're in the when you get to week 6, the bodies are breaking down out here.
Mohamed Sanu.
Not practicing, not going to play. Oh,
Kenny G.
ooh,
Kenny Galladay.
he's getting in some limited practice, but it's smooth practice. Yeah, he might suit up. I believe it's a good matchup. As you shared on your DFS podcast, you really believe in playing the wide receiver not covered by Patrick Peterson.
You're thinking of the wrong team.
Yes.
That's Deshaun Jackson.
That is Deshaun Jackson. Similar situation, though, which is where my brain was going. The deep ball opportunity for the Lions is there. I lean Marvin Jones. I wouldn't start Galladay, but he might suit up.
Gronk. Rob Gronkowski
Practiced on Thursday, expected to play.
Jack Doyle.
Yeah, so Doyle is in the concussion protocol still.
Just give me the in or out, Jason. We have so much show.
He's in.
All right.
Travis Not only is he in, he's a good play.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce is in. He's practicing.
George Kittle.
Limited, he'll play. In. Is this I can only say in or out? I don't know the rules.
To be fair, there are no rules right now.
That's right. Dad's gone. I can say whatever I want. Watch. Ask me the next one.
George Kittle.
Who knows? Who cares? Next question.
All right, very, very fair. Before we move into the rest of the matchups, I want to thank today's sponsor. It's Draft. It's our studio sponsor, and we got to let you know, this is the biggest week ever.
Got to get in this
draft. They're launching multiplayer draft tournaments, and they're offering a huge redeposit bonus. These multiplayer tournaments, it's a total game changer. This is the inaugural. You got to get in.
If you're not in now, you're never going to be in the inaugural week.
That's true, and you will also be very sad because it's a $10 entry. This is a $35,000 prize pool, 4-round tournament with 8 people drafts. You win 1 week, you're in the money. You win 4 straight, 5,000 bones.
I'll take it.
Footclan. I expect that $5,000.
You just got to win in an 8-man league.
4 times in a row,
well.
but I expect a Footclan member to take this down. You can get a free entry to the inaugural. Just deposit $100. You automatically get a free $10 entry ticket you can use in the inaugural. For new and existing users, you must play through your deposit prior to withdrawal. Go to draft.com/ballers. That's draft.com/ballers.
You bring up the best point ever in that read. I want the Footclan to take this thing down.
Yeah, big time.
Hey, Footclan, when you win this thing, whoever you are, when you win 4 in a row, make sure you message us. Let us know.
It's called the Quattro.
The Quattro, ESPN4, the Quattro. Also definitely need to thank Pristine Auction, one of the longest sponsors of the Fantasy Footballers podcast. We love them. They have everything you could ever dream of or wish for when it comes to signed, authentic signatures of superstars on sports memorabilia. It's an auction site. So, these things that you think, oh, that must be $500. You find it, you bid on it. We win signed jerseys all the time. In our monthly giveaways, we are always on Pristine Auction, and we bid on everything we can find. And it's, you're every month stealing these things at $40, $50. It doesn't cost you anything to bid if you don't win, unlike other auction sites. That's so stupid. I can't imagine an auction site doing that. Pristine, they're not going to do that. So check them out. Go to pristineauction.com, Pristine auction.com. Make a completely free account and make sure you let them know that you heard about them at the Fantasy Footballers.
Fantasy Forecast.
49ers travel to Washington. The Washington Redskins are favored by 10.5 points. The over-under is 46.5. Clear skies, good weather.
Mm-hmm.
What are you expecting from this game, Jay?
I'm hoping for a shootout here. I think we've seen enough from Brian Hoyer and Kyle Shanahan that the offense can get it done when it is not a terrible matchup. You know, they've had 2 of their 5 weeks against average or below average opponents, and they've put up points. Brian Hoyer's been great. Pierre Garçon's been great. I think they'll be able to do that against the Washington Redskins, in which case the Redskins will then be able to return fire and score. So I'm really hoping that this game is more of a sneaky shootout where the points are flying. I love Pirine in this game. San Francisco's run defense, not
it's very beatable.
Yeah, it's very beatable. Shockingly, I mean, it's one of those things that happens when you only have a few weeks of data, but they are the number 1 defense against the tight end. Are you worried about Jordan Reed?
Jordan Reed has been removed from the injury report, although he has stated he's currently not 100%. But that's I think that's the best you're going to get from Jordan Reed.
Jordan Reed has not been 100% since he was born.
I was going to say since birth.
So birth, 100% though on that day.
The 49ers defense, they have allowed 24 points per game. That's why I am loving me some Washington players. Kirk Cousins, I believe, is your start of the week.
Kirk Cousins is my start of the week.
Coming off of the bye at home, this is a great situation. You saw Terrell Pryor get his offensive pass interference on. Wasn't called, but got the long bomb. Josh Doxson's getting a little bit more involved. What do we do with Jamison Crowder, the much-loved, the much-hyped slot man? He's going to play in 2 wide receiver sets. That's all I heard this offseason. And
the problem is it's not true. It's not true. He hasn't been always the guy out there in those situations. I do fully expect him to bounce back to relevance, but his relevance is going to be capped. I think there was a lot of hope in the offseason that maybe he would take over that number 1 role as far as the primary target.
That's what people hoped.
And that hasn't happened. And there will be games where he will finish the game with the most targets, but he's not a reliable, for sure first target, the way that a Keenan Allen is. He's the go-to. There's too many weapons. Kirk Cousins doesn't target on one guy unless his name is Jordan Reed. So he's going to spread the ball around, which usually means I don't want to start them. But in this matchup, I'm willing to start Jamison Crowder in a flex position or Terrell Pryor and try to get look, if I think Cousins is going to do, I've got him as my quarterback 4, someone's got to catch the other side of that.
Carlos Hyde has been practicing and removed from the injury report. Are you buying into a healthy Carlos Hyde this week?
I am buying into a healthy Carlos Hyde. I think he plays, and what we saw last week with Matt Breida as the actual, primary carrier, I think that goes away. I think it's the Carlos Hyde show this week.
George Kittle, coming off of a decent week.
Sneaky start. I picked him up, put him in my starting lineup in a really important league.
Sounds like you don't really feel good about it, though.
I then cut him and picked up Hooper. I just can't believe. Here's what
Didn't
Kittle is to me.
Didn't you cut Hooper to pick him up? Or did you was that a priority?
No, I cut Ben Watson.
Okay.
No, so the thing is, I see the world where Kittle has a monster game here. I mean,
Kittles and bits.
I like it. Kittles and bits.
I knew there was something there. I couldn't figure out what it was.
I always wanted Skittles, but Skittles is Marshawn.
Yeah.
But Kittles and bits.
Kittles and bits.
He gonna eat.
Ooh.
He gonna eat Kittles and bits.
He's gonna eat dog food?
It's getting wait. Yeah, that's So is that good or is that bad? Do we not want him to eat this game?
You know what dog food tastes like? Exactly how it smells. Delicious.
So my point is this. If you want that glory play, Kittle could be it. If you want a DFS big tournament play where he's super cheap and no one else is owning him,
you better say Marquise Goodwin.
I love Goodwin and I like Kittle.
Okay, because I wanted to bring up Marquise Goodwin. Like you said, you think it could be a sneaky shootout here. Marquise Goodwin coming off a good game. No Josh Norman. That is the kicker for Washington. You saw things open up for the Kansas City Chiefs 2 weeks ago against Washington. They were struggling to move the ball. Josh Norman goes out, boom, open the gates, sees the day. That's what they did.
Don't be afraid and don't delay.
The worst thing you could do if the gates are open is delay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an actual fact. Moving on, the Buccaneers are traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. The Bucs, is this correct that the Bucs are 1.5-point favorites on the road.
Yes.
Wow.
46 point over under.
But Vegas. Adrian Peterson is the Hall of Famers there
He's
now.
in town. All right, let's break down the Cardinals offense. Carson Palmer, I believe, was second in passing yardage, if I have that remember correctly.
His passing attempts, as we've shared, they're through the roof. I think that goes down this week. I don't know how involved Adrian Peterson could be in week 1. I do expect him to get more than 10 carries on the ground this week. The Buccaneers defense.
I say you had Carson Palmer as your stream of the week.
Yes.
I like him. However, there are a lot of Buccaneers that
they're getting like 5 of their starters back healthy this week, 4 or 5.
Does that scare you off of Carson Palmer?
It doesn't scare me off of Carson Palmer to the point where I don't think you can stream him. I think you can, but it certainly lowers his upside. I don't think he'll be able to be a top 5 quarterback stream, whereas if you're missing those 4 starters, then he could be.
The Arizona Cardinals wide receivers have been targeted nearly 29 times a game. That is highest in the NFL. I think Larry Fitzgerald, you have to play him in this matchup. Even with the defenders coming back, you got to see what the Bucs can do because they're currently 31st in pass defense.
There's always the question of which J wide receiver is it? Is it Jerron Brown? Is it John Brown? Is it J.J. Nelson? When healthy,
is it Jermaine Gresham?
Ooh,
more
well
J's.
Done. Is it Jerry Fitzgerald? No.
What?
John Brown is healthy right now. He wasn't just splitting reps with J.J. Nelson last week. He actually was. He took reps away from John Brown. So
said, "I drink your milkshake."
So John Brown is the Arizona wide receiver, not named Larry Fitzgerald, that you want to start.
I would agree. Adrian Peterson. So you have voiced your concern for Adrian Peterson. The Bucs' run defense is currently ranked 8th. I think that Peterson is an okay flex play because I do think that he will get those 15 carries. Now, can the offensive line for Arizona make anything special happen out of those 15 carries? Maybe. And the Cardinals have been searching for a goal line running back, and everyone has failed them. I think Peterson can still get that job done. So if they get in close, Peterson could get a touchdown. Andre Ellington is a fantastic play. Adrian Peterson, I know he'll take those early snaps, but it doesn't matter. The team needs Andre Ellington. They're going to see a lot of third downs, and that's Andre Ellington's job.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Johnson, who was released, was getting double-digit carries. And Andre Ellington, during that time, has led the league in receptions from the running back position. Or targets. I don't remember which. One of those.
Targets. Are you talking Ellington?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting a boatload is the scientific term. But that's how many targets he's getting.
So what about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Are you starting Jameis Winston on the road?
I still am starting Jameis, despite he came to Arizona last year, had himself a disaster of a game. So I think that the Cardinals are a sneaky DST this weekend with some mistakes made, but there will also be some big plays from Jameis. We alluded to it. Deshaun Jackson, I think, is a must flex this weekend if he is lined up against Justin Bethel.
Absolutely.
Terrible things are going to happen.
Yeah.
to Justin Bethel's
100% he's a must flex. Deshaun Jackson, he has his big weeks, and he's got his disappearing acts. If you can't start Deshaun Jackson against Justin Bethel, you can't start him against anyone.
On the other side, Patrick Peterson, who's been playing great football this year, will be on Mike Evans. I'm still going to play Mike Evans.
Absolutely. You still start Mike Evans. You just get disappointed with the results at the end more than likely.
But you know that the ceiling is still there. He should give you at least wide receiver 2 floor, though.
Yeah.
Doug Martin, he's got them fresh legs. Is he a must-start for you?
Yeah, Doug Martin's an every-week matchup-proof start for me. Jaquiz Rodgers is not involved. I think Charles Sims is only in those super deep flyer roles. Outside of that, I think that's covered. And Cameron Brate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cameron Brate
has
been great.
I think he's a must play.
Yeah, I mean it really is tough because he is a must play when you look at the landscape of tight ends. But Arizona has been for the last 2 years extremely difficult to
Zach
the
Ertz
tight ends,
disagrees.
with the exception of Zach Ertz, which was very recent. So yeah, I mean I think you can play Brate.
Brate's the tight end 6 right now.
Yeah, you're darn right.
In
he is.
one less game than many. So.
Cameron Brate getting it done. He said, O.J. Howard, not today, my friend.
He said, O.J. Howard, thank you for blocking better than I do. You stay on the line. I'll go catch that pass.
You handle that. I'll handle the touchdowns. The Rams travel to Jacksonville, take on the Jaguars. The Jags are favored by 2.5 points. It's a 42.5-point over-under, so low. This is the game. We get to see what is Jared Goff made of. He has looked better, but he is taking on, in my opinion, the best pass defense in football.
Well, in
with
statistical opinion as well, if there is such a thing.
They're third in allowing passing yards. So
fantasy points to the quarterback. They
are
are
shutting it down.
A disaster for quarterbacks. So it will be interesting to see Jared Goff coming off of a home game against another great pass defense, Seattle Seahawks, and he looked pretty good. He didn't finish as well because the game-winning touchdown was dropped, but he put it in a catchable position. I'm not starting Jared Goff. No way, no how.
Okay.
No way.
No way.
No way.
Todd Gurley, the Jaguars are susceptible on the ground. Do you expect them, the Rams, to be smarter than the Pittsburgh Steelers and feature their star running back?
Yeah, I do think so. Todd Gurley is a safe start this week. I'm not worried about him.
Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins, I
Benched?
just traded for him and benched him.
You're going to bench?
No way am I playing Sammy.
Are you going to play any of the pass catchers?
No,
for
I
the
mean,
Rams?
Cooper Kupp is probably the most reliable option right now just because of targets, but there is not one single wide receiver that I will start against the Jaguars from the Rams.
On the other side of the ball, you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. You have Leonard Fournette, who is looking like an absolute bona fide, looking like a superstar. The Jaguars have run the ball on 55.4% of plays. That is highest in the NFL. They were not lying to us.
No, they do
when
not
they said
want
that they want to run on first, second, and third down.
Well, the actual question, I believe, was like, how much is Blake Bortles going to pass this year? And their answer was like 0. That would be my preferred. My preference is that we don't throw the ball. We can run every single play. The problem is Fournette's been good enough to almost allow that. And so Marquise Lee, who I like, I think he is still the number 1 target for Jacksonville. Allen Hurns, always a red zone threat. Blake Bortles himself. I just don't think you can rely on these guys because the volume is so low right now.
The Rams defense have allowed 1.4 rushing touchdowns per game.
Little red
Per game.
Fournette.
Leonard Fournette looking like a strong play. Do you have any part of your body that wants to play Mercedes Lewis?
No, never. How dare you?
Well,
It would have worked in
3 touchdowns.
Come on.
All right. Steelers are taking on the Chiefs. It's in Arrowhead. The Chiefs are favored by 4.5 points. We are talking a 46-point over-under. Is this the redemption for Big Ben? On paper, this is a good matchup
Yeah.
because the Kansas City Chiefs pass defense is ranked 25th in the NFL. Their run defense is tied for 20th. I mean, 5 interceptions, though. Is there any world where you're going to play Big Ben on the road coming off of that game?
2 quarterback leagues where I don't have any other option.
Okay, well, 1 quarterback leagues.
No, I wouldn't. I don't expect a good game from him.
I'm going to ask a question for a friend. Would you play Blake Bortles or Big Ben?
Great question. I would. Oh, that is a really good question.
Because I think I'm going full Jay Cutler, don't care, and I'm going to play Big Ben.
Yeah, I lean that way as well. I just worry that
I wish I had
Fournette's
better
gonna
options,
be able to
but
get it done. I would play Big Ben over. I would play Big Ben here.
Le'Veon Bell must start. Antonio Brown must start. Martavis Bryant, the news on him has been poor this weekend. Juju Smith-Schuster seems to have stolen his lunch money, and he is outproducing him the past couple weeks.
Eli Rogers has been inactive. Juju's taken that role, but Eli Rogers is really good at that role, and Big Ben has been struggling. So the rumors are that Eli Rogers will be active.
Because they're saying that Smith-Schuster could play more on the outside to, quote, give Martavis Bryant a break.
Yeah, that's what he needs. Honestly.
That's what I need. It's week 6. Coach, I'll take a break. I'll take a break. I mean, to be fair, Martavis Bryant has played a lot of football in the past couple years.
Yeah, he's really tired right now. Yeah, I'm not playing Martavis Bryant. I mean, if I don't want to play Big Ben, then I'm not going to take that flyer on Martavis. I believe since 2008, Ben Roethlisberger's had 2 games in Arrowhead. One was pretty good, one was horrific. And the way he looked this last week with those, was it 4 interceptions?
Wait, last week?
Yeah.
It was 5.
5. One was a tipped ball. The others were all just horrible decisions, overthrows, underthrows. I don't think Big Ben is done for the year by any means. He's a Hall of Fame level quarterback, and he's going to get it together. But on the road in Arrowhead against a really good defense is not the time to right the ship.
The Steelers' defense has allowed 3 passing touchdowns on the year. That is tied for second fewest in the NFL. Alex Smith, who has gone Super Saiyan and fully leveled up, it appears. Do you have any concerns about playing Alex Smith against the number 1 pass defense in terms of passing yardage?
No, I don't.
You'll still play him?
I'm still playing Alex Smith.
Quarterback 1? So he's in your top 12?
Yes. I mean, he's going to be right there. I mean, I think Alex Smith is the type of player you got late or got off waivers where you might have
concerns
other
with his weapons.
You do have concerns because of the health of Tyreek Hill and the possible health of Travis Kelce. But the thing is we have seen Alex Smith running the ball at home, and I think he will do that if necessary. I don't love Alex Smith. He's not one of those top 5 type of quarterbacks in this matchup. But to ignore what he's been doing and sit him just because of a matchup while he's at home, I think would be a mistake.
I would agree. Travis Kelce, if cleared, in which we expect him to play, you plug him in, it would be recovering from a concussion, which you saw Devontae Adams. Once you're cleared and allowed to play, you are good to go. Chargers, Raiders, San Diego. Who knows? Let's start on the Chargers side of the ball. Phillip Rivers, he's great. He's having a pretty good year. This is much better than I was expecting from Phillip Rivers, especially with last year when he was the king. He was the king of the quarterback twos.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where he lived.
Well, that's because he was the king of the interception.
Yes.
But part of that was because he had all new weapons. He was still working it out with Tyrell Williams and Dontrell Inman, and Travis Benjamin was there for a first year. He lost Keenan Allen. Now he's got another year under the belt with the other 3. He adds in the most important, which is Keenan Allen, who's been an absolute go-to, has been terrific. You've got a year under the belt for Hunter Henry. I really like Phillip Rivers. I feel confident starting him in almost any matchup, and the Raiders are a plus matchup.
They certainly are. Melvin Gordon is a must-start. Keenan Allen, of course, is a must-start. Are you throwing anyone else out, though, like Tyrell Williams, Travis Benjamin? We are not playing Mike Williams, despite this should be his first game of his career. But Tyrell or Travis Benjamin, do you have any?
You could take a flyer on him. It's one of those situations where I'll bet you at the end of the week, Tyrell Williams or Travis Benjamin has a really good game. You're going to be happy you started him. And the other one's going to have a really bad game, and you're going to be so sad you started him. So it's one of those.
It's like there's 2 mice.
It's just 2 mice and a bucket of cream.
I'm just trying to see how many pop culture references can I fit into one podcast. It's my last time hosting the show.
There's not enough.
No limit?
There's no limit.
I will open the lid.
Take it off. Crack it open.
It's open.
All right. What were we talking about?
Talking about 2 mice.
2 mice, yes.
Tyrell Williams and Travis Benjamin.
So, it's one of those gamble type of plays. A glory play, but you could be really disappointed. High ceiling, a floor of 0. And we don't know how Mike Williams coming in is going to affect their snap counts. For the most part, I'm going to avoid starting those guys if I can. I don't know that the ceiling will be worth the risk.
Are you going with Goose or Iceman from the tight end position for the Los Angeles Chargers?
Give me the Goose, man. The goose is loose.
How loose is your goose? He is your start of the week.
Yes. I think Hunter Henry is an exceptional talent. He's been used downfield in easier matchups, and this is an easier match.
Gates is absolutely unplayable. I mean, I'm sure you've realized this, but he's, aside from the week 2, he had a touchdown. He has done nothing. Never topping 30 yards in a matchup this year. At some point,
he got his record.
The team
is done.
The team has to move on.
They have
to Hunter Henry.
They have.
You believe the transition has happened?
Yeah, I think it's already happened. I mean, obviously they're not going to say, Gates, you play 0 snaps and watch from the sideline because he's still on the roster. He's a Hall of Famer. But I think it's already happened. They were forcing the ball his way before he got the touchdown.
The Oakland Raiders, Derek Carr expected to play. Beast mode. Can we finally get some beast mode action because the Chargers are dead last in rushing defense?
Yeah, I mean,
can the team finally rely on Marshawn? Can we see that 15-carry game? Is that possible?
It's definitely possible. He started the year with an 18-carry game. Last week, 12 carries. I think you're going to probably end up more around there. I don't think this is going to be the type of game where they need to run the clock out because Phillip Rivers can always keep you in a game even if Oakland gets the lead. So it's just a matter of, will Marshawn Lynch in his 12 or 13 carries be able to exploit a really beatable run defense? He is a definite startable running back. I don't see him as this top 10 option, but when you're talking about the landscape of RB2s and RB3 pass catching backs, Marshawn Lynch is good enough to plug in your lineup.
Now, Derek Carr better be ready because the Chargers defense have averaged a sack every 8.8 pass attempts. That is best in the league. Joey Bosa.
Not Joey Bosa and I want to say Melvin Gordon.
Ingram.
Yes, Melvin Ingram.
Yes.
They are a duo for pass rush.
Yeah, they are dominating. So his back better be right because he's hitting the ground at least once in this match. Michael Crabtree, he's a must-start for me.
He's
every single week.
Every single week. The only times I would maybe consider
Denver
would be Denver.
Yeah, so I apologize.
If they're playing Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's fair. But his teammate, Amari Cooper,
is startable.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm plugging Amari Cooper in the lineup that I have him in, assuming that Derek Carr plays. If Derek Carr is out, then Amari Cooper's out to me because he only got 2 targets last week with E.J. Manuel, but he is still heavily targeted. And of course, as Amari Cooper himself said, the ball's going to find him.
Yes, it's very ethereal, with it getting very deep and philosophical.
Yeah, you can start Amari Cooper and Crabtree this week if Carr plays.
Here, Amari, you got to be the ball.
Gotta. You are the ball.
You envision the ball.
There is no ball.
Ooh,
yeah. See,
that's the way
pop culture.
That's the way he's playing lately, though. There is no ball.
There is no ball
because he's not worried about it.
Right.
Sunday Night Football. The New York Football Giants. It's gonna be a little bit rough for the New York Football Giants this week. They're traveling to Denver to face the Broncos, where they are 12-point underdogs, 40-point over/under. Let's get it out of the way. The New York Giants. Eli Manning, start or sit?
Sit.
Wayne Gallman, start or sit?
Start. I know. Look,
Roger Lewis.
I retract my start on.
On Wayne Gallman.
Yeah, I think the combination of Wayne Gallman and Orleans Darkwa, who should be active, they're going to need to be relied on, and the problem is the matchup. Denver this year
they figured it out.
Yeah, they figured it out. Son of Bum went from Denver to the Rams, and they went from being a middle-of-the-pack run defense to the best.
Brought his terrible run defense over to Los Angeles.
That is absolutely true. They flip-flop positions. So it's just not the week for Darkwa or Gallman for confidence, but I am picking those guys up. It might be an okay week for Shane Vereen just because of, you talk about Mr. Necessary. They gotta
Charles Clay's not available, Jason.
Yeah, but Shane Vereen, again, if you're in a full PPR league, I wouldn't be surprised if he has like 10 receptions
Sure.
for about 44 yards.
I think Wayne Gallman is startable just due to the landscape of running backs, including bye weeks. I mean, it's
My worry with
it's
Gallman,
rough.
I'm not confident that it's him and not Darkwa.
Sure.
Darkwa looked great.
He did. And this is a kind of just trying to think outside of the box and project, but similar to the Jets of you're saying what they may want to see what they have in Elijah McGuire. The Giants, the season's done. It's gone. You're not recovering from your 0-for record, and your team is dismembered. At some point, you got to see what you have in Wayne Gallman. Because Orleans Darkwa is not the future of your running back position.
Another shout out to a good friend of the show, Scott Barrett.
Scott, get off the show, Scott.
Oh, Scott, come on down. No, he tweeted this out. I don't know if you saw this, but the Giants have never scored more than 28 points with the offensive-minded McAdoo as the head coach. The year that Coughlin got fired, they hit 30-plus 7 times. Now, to be fair, McAdoo was the offensive coordinator then.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Some guys, we have seen this, like Ken Wisenhunt.
Right.
Can be a great offensive coordinator, just not a head coach. Also, I have had several French McAdoos before, and they are delicious.
I'm hungry.
Evan Ingram.
Kittles and bits for me.
Evan Ingram is really the only Giant that I want to start. I know he goosed. I know it happened last week, but I think Evan Ingram I think the ball will find him, so to speak, in Amari Cooper terms.
I know a lot of people love him because he's the only target in town. That kind of scares me, though, because he's the only target to cover.
But tight end is the only position getting anything done against the Broncos.
That's true.
Because their DBs shut everyone down.
Other side of the ball.
Yes.
Denver.
Yes. That's the team.
Is there anybody that you're not starting?
Ooh, man.
I mean, I'm starting C.J. Anderson, Emmanuel Sanders, Demaryius Thomas, and Trevor Siemian within reason.
And if you listen to the DFS podcast, Ben Cummins gives a very passionate and very factual defense of even possibly playing A.J. Derby. So the Giants are terrible against the tight end.
I saw that catch.
Yeah, I saw it too.
It warmed my heart.
Yeah, fantastic. Monday Night Football. The Colts are taking on the Titans. We do not have lines yet because we don't know who the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans will be. So let's start over on the Colts. Jacoby Brissett is my stream of the week. I like him. I like the matchup. Tennessee, their pass defense, they are 24th in the league. You can get it done through the air. And Jacoby, I feel like it's taken some time, but that connection with T.Y. Hilton, you saw it in a big way last week. So I am confident playing Brissett and Hilton. You talked about Jack Doyle as a possible good play. What are your thoughts on Doyle?
So the thing with Doyle is when a guy comes back from a concussion, they're able to plug right back in the lineup, and you don't have to worry so much about are they hobbled, because it's just we saw it with Devontae Adams after that monster hit, came back and got 2 touchdowns. He's not he's not worried about it pulling the hamstring, and I think this is a good matchup. The landscape of tight end says that Doyle is really a top 12 option. We've had games with Brissett where he hasn't targeted him, but we've had games with Brissett where he has. This matchup, I just think he's a guy that's going to be definitely on the waiver wire, and if you lost Charles Clay and don't have anybody else, you could pick up Doyle, and I think you could do worse.
The Colts defense have allowed 1.2 rushing touchdowns per game this season. DeMarco Murray, or is this the get right?
I am absolutely starting DeMarco Murray. I think he has a good game without Marcus Mariota. I think he has a very good game if Marcus Mariota plays.
Derrick Henry?
Not
Nope.
so much. No,
Right.
He hasn't been involved enough to say that you can start him over the last week.
The Tennessee pass catchers, Rashard Matthews, Eric Decker, it's not going well so far this season. It's even worse when Matt Castle is under center. But the matchup is juicy.
Yeah.
Colts 30th against the pass. If Mariota plays, Matthews is in?
Yeah, and that's the
Or is this regardless Matthews is in?
No, that's the issue with Matthews is I really like Matthews, if Mariota is in. And I don't like him at all if Mariota is out. But it's Monday Night Football.
Right.
There's just, not another good option. There's not a Jacoby Brissett you could pick up where if Mariota doesn't play, you could – Dante Moncrief, for example.
Sure.
I think Rashard Matthews without Mariota is as good as Dante Moncrief without Luck, which is not good. So I don't know that you can rely on it. You could take that gamble and just say you can watch the news over the leading up through this weekend and make an educated guess better than we can make today on a Friday as to whether or not Marcus Mariota will play. And if he looks like he will, then you could take that gamble and say, I'm going to play Rashard Matthews. And I guess in that situation,
that's dangerous.
In that situation, though, at least if Mariota is out, you still can play Matthews and get some points there. It's not like he is the one injured and now you're going to have a goose.
We have to bring you this.
Andy's almost upset of the week.
Vacation cannot stop Andy's almost upset pick of the week. He wanted to make sure that everyone knew it's the Bears versus the Ravens.
It's the Bears again. Andy is in love with Mitch Trubisky.
Jay Grizz loves it.
Oh, he's the happy bear.
Which is good because you don't want an angry bear.
No. As Mom always told me, never anger the Bears.
Yeah, well, I believe it's don't poke the bear.
Yeah, there you go. There's even a phrase for it.
All right, on Fridays, we go head-to-head usually. So this week, I guess it's just head-to-head. Would that be?
It's mano
y mano.
Well, see, we actually someone wrote in and said mano y mano
is not technically
means
correct.
Hand in hand. Mano a mano means like hand against hand or something. But I always thought mano y mano just meant man against man. I don't know. Other
stupid
languages.
Americans.
I barely know English.
Well, okay. We gotta figure this out.
All right.
The Daily Dose, brought to you by PlayDraft.
Head-to-head is what
we'll
call it.
It head-to-head. And before we jump into this, we do a weekly draft on Draft using the Draft app, which you can get at draft.com/ballers. I just wanted to update. Sam Bradford has been ruled out. Stephon Diggs is not practicing. Devontae Parker is not practicing. So I would not expect either of those wide receivers to play.
Thank you, Mike, for those updates.
So it's a head-to-head on Draft.
We're doing an expert draft, so all the best players are gone.
It is myself versus Jason, and Jason gets the first pick.
So,
where are you going?
Looking at who's available now, you got Blake Bortles, Ben Roethlisberger. You're going deep down here. I am going to go with a guy that I think is really good, and I don't like the landscape of the other quarterbacks I saw, so
I am very happy that you went with Phillip Rivers because now I can wait forever on my quarterback. My first pick, a player I love this weekend, Chris Hogan.
Oh, man.
Wide receiver for the Patriots, and Jason is ashamed that
I am ashamed. Well, the thing is it's like I was up first. I didn't know who would be available.
When you're on the board first, it can be very tough. I'm surveying the landscape. There's actually a lot of names I like, and so I'm going to go ahead and
don't take them. Don't take my pick, man.
I'm going to take Samaje
No,
P. Ryan.
Come on! You're gonna whoop me. Oh, Samaje's great in these expert leagues this week. Man alive, that one hurts. That stings where it counts.
It hurts, don't it?
Yeah, no fun for me there. We've said Deshaun Jackson must start.
Yeah, I very strongly consider Deshaun Jackson.
So I'm taking Deshaun Jackson for my first wide receiver, and I am going to I'm thinking between Elijah McGuire here and
It's a trap.
All right, I'm going to go Mike Gillislee.
Okay.
I'm going upside of multi-touchdowns.
I got you. He looked good. Just unfortunately, those touchdowns are not showing up. Oh, man. These expert leagues, man. This gets tough in the streets. I really like this player. I think that the breakout is official and real, and with Stephon Diggs likely to miss, I'm going to grab Adam Thielen.
That was the only guy I knew. You're just literally taking everybody that I want. I don't like
I have your
list.
list.
I don't like it.
I have your list of players that you really like, and I am grabbing them. And then I do not need to take a quarterback because you have already done that.
Yeah, you know what? That was so
that
stupid.
was a rookie mistake.
well,
I'm very surprised you made that.
The problem is we're head-to-head, and I have yet to do a head-to-head here. I'm used to 3 players.
I'm going to take Tevin Coleman. I'm going to take some juice at the running back position despite him not being the starter. He's getting it done through the air.
All right, so I get the last pick here for my wide receiver. I'm not taking one. I'm going to go Jordan Reed.
Nice.
Take a tight end for that wide receiver tight end spot. All right, so since it's just me now, here's some of the running backs out there. Elijah McGuire, Amir Abdullah, James White.
I do like Abdullah
I could go
this
AP
week.
or Andre Ellington. There's a lot of guys there I could go, but I do as well, like you just said, I really do like Abdullah this week. So he's my pick. And I believe we're over an hour. Because Daddy's gone.
I still have to make my last pick, Jay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got to get a quarterback in here.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to go with the beef brisket.
Hey, where's the meat?
Jacoby Brissett. Monday night. So let's read back these teams we got. I got Jacoby Brissett, Samaje, Tevin Coleman, Chris Hogan, Adam Thielen.
Oh, man, I love your team.
And Jason Rockin, Phillip Rivers, Mike Gillislee, Amir Abdullah, D-Jax, and Jordan Reed. Huge upside potential. Whew. Huge downside potential.
Yeah. I am projected to win by 3.
I like it, man. You got to be aggressive. So if you want to check out one of those drafts, make sure you go to draft.com/ballers. We are over the hour mark.
Megalodon.
No, we got to shut it down for the weekend. Thank you so much for joining us, Footclan. It's been an honor serving as your captain for the week.
It's been fun. It's been crazy. We wish you the best of luck this week in week 6. Get those #Footclan titles.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.